Welcome back to another episode of Koined Insights. Today we have with us a very special guest. She is a content creator. Once you hear about food, you know say she's sure to follow. She's also the founder of her very own agency, Wonga Media. Welcome, Wonga Girl!
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, girl.
So tell me now, we were talking before this and I was just like, Tiana, you have to tell the people them, oh, you reach us so? Where you reach us so?
I feel like that's a question that a lot of people have.
Because, we want to know. How did this Wonga Girl come to be?
Yeah, I tell people it's book-ups all the time. It's really book-ups. But true story is that while I was in college studying for my math degree.
Yeah. Asian brain.
So at my college, they have a study abroad program. It's called JYA, Junior Year Abroad, where they really encourage people to travel outside. It's a liberal arts school. So they want people explore.
Cute.
They want the students to see the world.
Yeah, like that.
You know, so you graduate with like a very global education.
Love it.
And so it was approaching that time where I needed to select which program I was going to. Mm-hmm. But because I was a math major, so how it works is you can't just pick a spot and go.
Oh,
you have to, it's like you have to apply to a program in another country that is going to allow you to finish your degree requirements.
Okay.
And so the math programs that my school had were there was one like in Edinburgh and I don't know, I just didn't really want to go to the UK. I felt like I wanted to go somewhere like a little more zhush.
Yeah. More bubble.
A little more bubble. And to cut a very long story short, I ended up, my first choice, which was Greece, didn't work out.
Ooh, that would have been nice.
Yes. But fun fact as well, I also had a minor in Africana studies.
You know what?
Africana studies. The study of black people, really. And that was buck-ups. I wasn't planning to do that. It's just that...
I didn't know that was a thing.
So it's a thing at the college I go to. Well, I feel like they have it in a lot of American.
Okay.
Race relations, that thing in America. So rumble, tumble, stumble literally into this minor. Like I just happened to take 3 classes while I was there in the department. And I was like, I really just need 2 more classes to make this a minor.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to declare the minor. And with that, I was able to convince them to let me study abroad in Trinidad.
Ooh.
At UA St. Augustine.
Okay.
So it was, the program itself was an Africana studies / Caribbean studies, because Caribbean studies falls under Africana. Program, but UA also has a very robust mathematics department. So they were like, I believe you. I see what you're going to do. It also was an added plus that particular program was about carnival. So, I got to jump carnival on my school's dime.
Stop it!
Yeah. So that's how I ended up in Trinidad. Trinidad was my first Caribbean country going to outside of Jamaica. And I think as a lot of people who are not well-traveled regionally, it's very easy to think that, is one Caribbean. We probably all eat very similarly. We have no. And I very, very, very quickly learned that when I was in Trinidad. We also, another part of the program as well was going to a Spanish-speaking country to see, how the politics and culture of a Spanish-speaking island differs from an English-speaking island. I really looked out on this program.
No, I like that program.
So we went to Cuba for a week. And again, that was a whole, different level of food, the people, just different. That was the first time I ever had, pear in soup, avocado. Yeah, normal thing for them. Them just drop the pear in the liquor chicken.
I feel like avocado goes with anything.
Yeah, well, and funny enough, I don't really like avocado. You can cancel me, but I liked it. I liked it in the soup. So I was just having a lot of different things. Like in Cuba, they also eat like guava and cheese very commonly for dessert.
That's good.
So I was really having 2018 was the year of me just having all of these very different food experiences that were so unexpected, because it's not even like, like when you go Italy, you're like,
pasta.
I'm gonna have some pasta.
Period.
I'm gonna have
gelato.
some pizza. Yeah. Literally, I was planning to go to these places and have like curry chicken same way, and it was like, curry chicken. And I very quickly learned like, no, that's not. Even just the way that them, cook down their chicken and prepare the chicken or the beef or the pork or whatever. So I basically was just traveling around the place. I also ended up that year, 2018, going to St. Croix, which is in the US Virgin Islands. Cause
This is your travel year?
Yeah, this was my travel year. I had a friend from Vassar, from my college, who she is from St. Croix. So she had invited a couple of us to come and spend October break with her. So so I was just traveling around the Caribbean and I was like eating all this food and, you have a look at iPhone.
Yeah.
And I was just taking bag of pictures and I was like, I have all of these pictures in my phone. This was before video became a thing. So
what is a reel?
Yeah, what was a reel? Reels didn't exist at this time. What was TikTok?
What is it?
TikTok literally was probably just an idea. And so I decided, I'll go just share them to my Instagram. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like I wanted to share them on my personal Instagram. So me and my sister over the Christmas holiday was just like, I could come up with a name. And I don't even really know how we landed on Wonga Gal, but we landed on Wonga Gal. And I just started it. January 2019 was when I started it. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see like the first couple pictures. Like I have a picture of like I have a couple pictures of food from Cuba, couple pictures of food from St. Croix. Like it genuinely was about like my travel experiences and the food I was having there. And that's how it started. I came back to Jamaica and I feel like it just continued after graduation. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a travel girl like that.
Girl,
no, but that program there,
nice.
And
people said to me whenever I tell them, they're like, "Girl, why did you travel abroad to Trinidad? Like, why you never go like Italy or France or da da da?" I was like, "But did you jump Carnival for free?
For free though."
So that's how we got here.
So I actually love that. That's how you started, because I feel like a lot of creators coming up, they see creators who have been doing this, but they didn't really see when you were, it was the Payalika iPhone,
literally
whatever.
an iPhone SE.
Murder. You look at iPhone SE and you're also their sister.
Yeah.
They don't see that. They just see the kind of like the finished product.
Yeah.
This is what they see now. So it's very encouraging, I think, to hear like, you just did start with your little SE.
Literally, like randomly just one day. Like and there was no, I tell people all the time, there was no intention of becoming a content creator.
Yeah. I don't even think that was a thing at the time.
There was no conversation of like, oh, I want to be an influencer. I want to be a travel vlogger, or blogger. It was nothing like that. It was literally, I have all of these pictures in my phone. I don't think I'm going to print them.
Yeah.
Where can I put them? Even just...
2018 though.
Yeah, like even just for me, I might make a post about that. But just literally just to put things somewhere so even I can go back and look at them. And that's literally how it started. And it really has... That's what I want to tell people is Wonga Gal is fully 100% buck ups. Because if I went to Greece, I don't know that this all would have happened.
Fair.
So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were just literally living the life that I wanted to live. Honestly, my dream, and which when I was little, it's so funny how like I think the internet just kind of changes things.
Yeah.
Because when I was little, I used to always watch like Guy on Food Network and like all these people, and I'm just like, these people have the best jobs ever.
Yeah.
You're being paid to eat good food.
Yeah.
Like, That's crazy to me. And I was just like, you know, that was my dream job. But it just seemed so far away. Like that could never happen. What am I gonna go to America, go to Hollywood and be like, yo,
Wonga eat some
Wonga them some food. Somebody book me.
Yeah.
So when I saw you doing Wonga Girl, and I'm like, oh my God, Tiana is doing exactly what I want to do. Like,
that's funny.
Like she not like it wasn't like the travel the world part, but like you were just like sharing like your love for food, and I was so inspired by you. I mean, I still am so inspired by you, but like I was just like, oh, it didn't make it seem so far away.
Yeah,
when I saw you do it, because I actually knew you at the time,
girl. Like, Chanel, me and Chanel were neighbors. So, Chanel, literally, I feel like when Wonga Girl started and I literally COVID a keep.
Yeah.
Chanel literally right across like 20 steps away from me while me I take picture in my bedroom. I try find the light in the from the window.
As you said that, you know you're real, because anytime Tiana would have like mixed something or she get some food, she'd have be like, hey, girl, I got some. And I'm like, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming. And it was always so good. So yeah, you were really inspirational to me, like in that season. And I didn't even know. Yeah. Thank you. So
or how the
I don't know
how them do it.
So them do it.
Why can't do I not have fingers?
Please.
That confused me bad.
I know. I was just like, how not do that? And yeah, but I learned.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah.
I learned. So before this, we were talking about how did you end up starting your own agency? Because mind you, you end up in a marketing because you studied. You studied math.
That is the story of my life. Everything is book up.
So what did you think was gonna happen when you graduated with your math degree? What was your
my plan?
What was your plan?
Nothing. So I also buck ups into math. Like my entire life after 6th form was buck ups. I don't think you understand. So let me tell you one thing. Yeah. I was very, very adamant.
Yeah.
I'm going to college abroad.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to UA. I'm not going to UTech. And it wasn't because, you know, I have any beef with UA or UTech. I just knew that I wanted to experience life outside of Jamaica. Yeah. And at the time, nobody never did a go file for me. So I needed to figure out how to get there. And I just felt like school would have been the easiest route. So I ended up going to college abroad. I literally applied to every college undecided because I had no idea what I was going to study. That's part of the reason why I ended up at a liberal arts school as well, because I was like, what me I go do, me don't know. You know.
But so, we'll find something.
I will find it when I get there. I was very confident that I would find it when I got there. I just needed to get there.
Yeah.
And so I even remember, and funny enough, the first person that I ever worked with, I joke and call her my mentor, Desrian. Big up yourself. But she told me that she was like, this was how you can kind of know that like you kind of were meant for marketing in a way. Because when I was in college and it was like time for me to figure out what major I was going to declare, I was like, what major can I do that, given that I still don't know what I want to do, what is going to make people automatically think I'm smart?
Wow.
Them don't talk to me. Them don't ask me nothing. I haven't done a test. Yeah. They don't see me work. But from them hear that I have a math degree,
they're like, oh, you're a genius.
Yeah. And that is very true to this day. Anybody who knows that I have a math degree, it's like, I feel like you see the switch when they're like, they're like,
oh, sorry. Excuse me.
This girl have sense.
It's Chung.
Yeah. So that's literally like it. So it literally was like a buck ups that I ended up there. I had already done like a couple of math courses while I was there. And so it was just like, let me just do this thing, hoping that I was going to fall in love with it. And but that never happened. Anyways, my graduates.
Yeah,
and
that's the story.
Still didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I think I was also like, I kind of knew, I felt like it was time for me to come back to Jamaica. There was a lot of stuff happening personally and just in the US, socially, politically, and I was like,
I'm gonna go home.
yeah, I need to come home. So came home, had no idea what I was gonna do. At this point, one thing about me, me need like a pocket money.
Yeah.
Like me need money for the things.
Yeah.
My mother will tell you all the time. Like from a born, TJ has been very money minded. She always used to joke and say a born with the wrong last name. She's like, you should have been a Tiana Matalan. Clearly, because
That I'm a buzz, man, I lie.
But so I was like, I just need a job, and thankfully, Nicole McLaren Campbell, big her up all day, any day. I love that woman. She loves me. I love her so much. I'm so grateful for her. But she was like, because I had interned with her. Well, she helped me with my college applications and SAT.
Okay, makes sense.
And then during my gap year, I was interning with her because, you know, she was like, "You man, can I get a little job?" Da, da, da. So when I came back to Jamaica and I didn't have anything to do, she was just like, "Oh, come and work for me." Like, that's fine. So I was working with her. I was doing essay editing, moved up to like college counseling. And then one day she sat me down in her office and she's like, "TJ, what you really want to do? Because I know you don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So what is that you really want to do?" And I was like, I've been thinking about like copywriting and I've been thinking about, marketing. I'm not sure. And she was like, "Oh, well, I have someone who's doing marketing for me. Let me connect you." And that was Desrian.
Oh my God.
And then, I ended up working with this for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I learned so much from that woman. And it was like, she was so, any question I had, she could answer. Any resource that I need, she gave it to me. She has like so many books in her house, just dedicated to like marketing and copywriting and sales writing and da-da-da-da. And so anything that I needed, it really was at my fingertips. I even wanted to go to like a virtual conference over COVID at World. She paid for it for me. She was like, "Go learn everything, come back and let me know what you learned." Da, da, da. So I'm really grateful for both her and Nicole. And I feel like the two of them really allowed me to learn about marketing. And then I feel like it kind of just naturally rolled over. I decided, it was probably time to leave AIM because I really wasn't interested in the college counseling thing anymore. I was also doing some like social media marketing for Nicole as well. And so, I just decided that it was time to kind of leave the nest, I guess. And with Wonga Girl, I kid you not, people started coming to me and they were just like, "We see what you're doing. I'm a small business. I don't really know anything about social media. Would you be interested in doing it for me?" So that is when I was like, okay, like I can really
I can make a food.
do something, like
I can do this. I'm very this.
And that's literally where it started. It literally just started as me taking on one client at a time and just kind of like building up a little roster. And then eventually I was like, we need some help. And then I hired Jordan. And then,
solid guy.
Here. We have, there's like a whole team of us and it's going pretty well. Yeah.
I can see that.
So that's the story there.
I love
Buck-ups.
Buck-ups.
Is,
But, Tiana, you are so blessed because...
No, listen, one thing about me, like I'm so grateful because Buck-ups don't work for everybody. And I know that a part of the Buck-ups is just happening to be in the right rooms, happening to know the right people, which is, I'm not gonna lie, the Links Run Jamaica thing is very real and I have reaped rewards from it. But I know I'm very blessed and I'm so very grateful for that. Yeah.
I think, so like, on that note where, I know it's people are always like, like Links Run Jamaica, but like, my response is always like, Links run the world.
Links does run the world.
Links run the world because at our core, we are people.
Yeah.
And I think just generally just listening to long-standing business owners and people who are like big managers and all these things. They're just like, it's relationships. Like relationships are going to do this. When you have emotional equity with people, when people can trust you, because, you know, people do business, people who they like and who they trust.
Yeah.
Because we have to work, you know. Personally, I'm not going to take on a client I don't like.
Yeah.
If I don't like you as a person, I'm not going to take you on.
Yeah.
Because I have to work. So I at least need to enjoy who I am working with.
Yeah.
Because you see, anytime you go against that,
no, it mess you up for real.
You pay for that.
You really do pay for it.
You pay for that.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I learned that lesson. I had a client once who I feel like our values didn't align.
That's it.
And I didn't realize until like the contract was already signed. It was, you know, it was one of those things where you don't think about it because at first you're like
money.
The money.
Yeah.
And then you start having meetings with them and you just realize like, how can I market your product if I don't believe in your product? I don't believe in you. You know? So yeah, no, I agree. You really have to, business is knowing people because people are running businesses and it's not gonna work if you don't like each other.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like as you were just sharing, you know, how like Nicole and Desi just like invested into you. Like, God bless them. Like, I know, like you said, like she don't like when you call her your mentor, but like that's what she invested in you. And it's such a blessing when you find people who are steps ahead of you that will go the extra mile to invest in you. They just see a little light and they're like, I'm going to invest in that person. Yeah. And the onus is like always on us to try to just like pay that forward. I'm trying to think, did anybody really invest in me? Well, yes. I think people believed in me. People believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. They're like, hey man, you're absent, you can do this. And I'm like, what is a social buck-ups also I'm end up buck-ups. I'm end up yourself, which is so funny because we also interviewed somebody who also did like a science degree because math is like basically science. And I'm just like, what's the correlation between like these scientists getting into marketing? What is that about? My conclusion, I was just like, I don't know. Because there is a marketing aspect to science. There's a science aspect to marketing. And I'm like, maybe that's a balance. So similarly to you, where people are just like, that much thing, you're gonna fit your person. Like marketing fits you. Like when I was studying,
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. No, but like when I was studying, I remember I tell people, oh, like, you know, I'm studying I studied microbiology, by the way.
Crazy.
Every time I say that, somebody's like, huh? But I wish you guys saw the face Tiana made when I told her that today.
That was crazy. I did not expect that.
This so?
Especially because I feel like a lot of your friends went to Karamak. I don't know why I thought you were a marketing girly through and through.
Definitely science girly through and through.
Women in STEM.
And like even now in just like marketing, I'm more like, you know, like they always have the memes about like marketing girlies, which is like the data science kind of aspect of marketing. And then they have like the creative marketing girly. Yeah. Well, like Omari is the creative marketing, but he's not a girly, but like, yeah, I know I'm not as creative as he is. I'm more the one to be like, okay, the data says this performs. And maybe if we do a little A/B and, you know, we twist it that way and whatever. And I mean, together that works really well. Yeah. But like, I don't know if I think I don't give myself enough credit, but I was going through this whole crisis. I'm like, am I creative? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd consider myself like creative. I just like comparing myself to like others, but like I think just in marketing is so broad. Yeah. And there are, I think when people think about marketing, they're just like, oh, you know, it's just like, it's just the fun side. It's just, you know, we're just going on shoots and we're just like taking pictures and it's just all fun and games. But like,
there is a very, like when you have to do the reports,
murder.
Very serious. Very serious.
Can I tell you though? That's my favorite part.
That's crazy. So, well, to come back to the question of how science people end up in marketing. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I was ever meant to be a science girl. But I was always good at science.
That's how I ended up there. My mommy was like, "Oh, you're good at chemistry? Go study it. Go there." So, and I was like,
I feel like I'm one of those people when I was in high school, and this is also a blessing and a curse. And I don't want anybody to take this in the wrong way, but there was nothing in high school that I was not good at.
Believe it.
Like, I wasn't a science girl. I wasn't a languages girl. I wasn't an English girl. Like, I did everything. Like,
you were just good.
I placed in Jamaica for bio and literature. Like, that's literally like
who does that? Who does that?
So it was like I never. But on the obviously you're pretty good at everything. You're pretty well-rounded. But the flip side to that is that
you don't know where to go.
It doesn't inform you where to go. Like I have some friends who just they knew that they were gonna be doctors because they knew that biochem was. You know?
I was so jealous of those people.
Yes.
Like you just decided in our first farm, I'm gonna be a doctor.
Yeah.
And you just did it.
Yeah.
You just got through. You
crazy.
That's so crazy to me.
But I mean, through all of that though, I was like always dancing. I always did creative stuff. Even like in prep, my friend and I were talking about in prep school, we used to enter like poster competitions and like we'd like win money from like drawing little poster things. And
so you were always creative.
So I was always creative, but I was always also very like academically inclined. And you know, my parents, any typical Jamaican parent, from them sisse
traditional,
have a little science brain about you. You're going to do science.
But I ask.
Yeah, it's not a question.
Yeah.
So for me, it just never felt like a creative job was an option growing up.
I'm so happy that you said that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you said that because I feel like that happened to so many people.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe even including myself. And I don't think my parents necessarily, I don't remember them pressuring me to choose something very traditional, but in my head, just based on what I saw around me, everybody had like professional careers.
Yeah.
So at that time, there was no social media marketer.
No.
There was no like the only people I knew who would work in like marketing, which it wasn't even really a thing. It wasn't really like a thing when I was in high school to even like consider. It was just like, you're good at science, go along, those lines. Cause you doctor, lawyer, scientist, engineer, and I guess I hope that parents nowadays are encouraging their kids to kind of broaden their horizons.
I think so. And I think they are because times have changed.
For sure.
Well, I will say I grew up around marketing because my mom was a marketing manager.
Tiana, come out.
Wait, no? Like,
come out.
You see the little expo them? Like the expo, like Jamaica Expo and them things.
Yes.
There. That was me. And then out flyers, healing around the place. And out flyers.
Not the healing.
That was my regular Saturday, like, thing. Like, yes, you shouldn't go healing round National Arena. Me that at least once a month. Because my mom was, she was a marketing manager for what is now GK General, used to be JIC. So I was there.
Show me, Jason, put the camera on me. Be so for real.
But yes, I was around it. But because I was around it, my mother was very much like, I don't want you to go into marketing because as a marketer, you almost always have to work for somebody. Of course, that was her experience back then. She was like,
exactly,
you're almost always gonna, your goal is to be a big marketing manager at top, or like the VP of marketing at some big corporate company. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't want that for you. I want you to own your own job, or own your own career, which is why she was pushing the doctor thing. She was like, doctors all have their own practice. Dentists have their own practice. As an engineer, you can own your own like engineering company or consulting company. So her reasoning for pushing me towards like a STEM career at the time was because she didn't want me to work for anybody. And she felt like she was stuck always working for somebody. And funny enough, she and I had a conversation about it last year because I was bringing up the fact that she said this to me, and she was like, times have really changed, because she was like, when she said that to me, owning your own marketing agency was just not
a thing, was it?
It's just not, it wasn't even really a thing. And then it was like, even if you did own it, it was like nobody was really hiring a marketing agency.
They had marketing
for a long-term thing. It was all very like project-based.
Yeah.
Because almost every company had a full marketing team.
Department, yeah,
marketing department. So yeah, and she was like, no. And funny enough, she did say to me like that I have helped her to see that things have changed, because the fact that like she never thought that I could ever be doing what I'm doing. Like she never thought that could ever, worse is social media.
Yeah.
She's like, I'd never thought that social media would even take off like that. Yeah. No one did. And my mother is a traditional marketer through and through. She's not business, more social media. So yeah, I think as times change, I do think that parents are definitely, I'd like to think branching out and allowing their kids to be a little bit more open. But
because I'm thinking back to high school where like we had like career expos and stuff like that. I don't know. I think if I could, I think maybe in like my second year of university, I realized that, I think I like marketing.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna finish this degree though.
Yeah.
I'm not starting over.
Yeah.
I'm not starting over. And also, I really did love microbiology. Like, that's
the thing. Like, I really liked bio too with my minor. Can't say I really like it. And that's just my old major.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did a couple math courses at U, and I was like,
most stressful.
So every time I was just like, oh, you studied math? You're brilliant.
Exactly. That's the
point. You're brilliant. So Tiana, what would you say that you have learned about yourself during this journey of entrepreneurship?
What have I learned about myself? I think I have learned that I cannot do it all. And I think for a very long time, like even during like high school, and so I hated group projects. I mean, most people did.
Of course.
But part of why I hated them was because I just felt like I know I could do the work by myself.
By yourself, and you do it good and get that A.
Yeah, and I just felt very like the rage that would consume me when other people like just wouldn't do it. And then I would just have to do it. And I was like, well, if I just did it if I just had to do it from the start, like, you know? But going into entrepreneurship, like you really have to reconcile that. And like entrepreneurship is one big group work project.
That's a word.
It's a one big group work project. And because unless you're going to stay a freelancer forever, which was not an option for me, because there comes a point where there's a ceiling on how many clients one person can handle by themselves, how many projects one person can handle. So it was a no-brainer. Like I had to build out a team, and in doing so, you have to give up. There's a level of trust that you have to have, but you have to give up your autonomy a little bit. You have to give up your freedom and your independence, because you have to learn to trust people and to depend on them to get it done. And when they don't get it done, you have to learn how to not just sit at home and be upset and do it anyway. You have to learn to confront the person, because guess what? They will never learn if you as the boss doesn't confront them. And I mean, I don't mean confront them like trace them off.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
You know, because as a leader, that's also not something that I'm not interested in being the dragon lady.
Correct.
But I do think that I have a responsibility to let people know, like, if they're not meeting what needs to be done, they should know. Yeah. They should know. So yeah, those are the things I've had to learn about myself, like unlearning a level of independence, but also learning a level of trust.
That's so good. And what, I guess, nuggets would you give, or what encouragement would you give to upcoming content creators? Because, you know, they see Wonga gal in all her glory now, but like they didn't see when you depend on the iPhone, you see. So in your journey thus far with all that you've experienced, what encouragements would you give to up and coming content creators, people who are considering maybe I could be a content creator? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say I think a lot of people now just think like, oh, anybody can be a content creator. I can just take up my phone and start filming.
Yeah, and I mean that.
GRWM, and all of a sudden, you know, no shade to the GRWMs. I love a good GRWM.
No, but I get you. I
love a good GRWM. But I know everybody can GRWM.
I love a good one.
Good. So yeah, my thing is like, I think when you're, honestly, my biggest piece of advice, and this might sound away, but my biggest piece of advice is like, don't try to become a content creator. Just create content. Do things for yourself first. Because if you scroll back, even now to this day, there are content pieces that I do that nobody never pay for them. They're not an ad. You know, I literally just did it because... yeah, and I just love the food and I want to talk about it. Yeah. Yappa's international. Like, you know, so that's really all that it is. And I feel like a lot of the content that I create really is for myself. And I have, I mean, I know it's a privilege, but I have turned down opportunities because I'm like, I know I don't like your food, or I don't like, you know, I don't like what your product stands for, or your business stands for. And you have to make those decisions. But the only way you can make those decisions is if you're not a slave to content creation. And once you're doing it for yourself, I think it will come naturally, and it comes off so much more authentic. And that's something people tell me a lot. They're like, oh my God, I love your content. It's so authentic. I don't even know if they know what they're saying half the time when they say it. But it's the fact that they feel the need to say it makes me know that there are people, it's very obvious that there are people with inauthentic social media presences. And I think a lot of it stems from the fact that they made a decision that they're going to be a content creator. And I'm like, just do it. Just do it for you. Do it for you. And if it work out, it work out. Believe in the buck-ups. If the buck-ups was meant for you, you will get it.
That.
And guess what? If it wasn't meant for you, it wasn't meant for you, but that doesn't mean you should stop creating either. Do things for yourself. It's okay to do things for yourself and to do things that don't make money.
Yeah.
I mean, if the money come,
then great. But just be authentic.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. And the last question I have for you is, what is the best piece of advice you have ever gotten? Like, what do you think? Sorry, what that? No more box. Just like something that you find gets you through, I guess, your work days or through difficult situations. Like, is there something specific that someone has said to you that kind of just resonates with you a bit often?
I don't think a specific piece of advice.
It can be two things.
But I think having worked so closely with Nicole McLaren Campbell, I learned a lot about just getting things done. Like that lady, say whatever one wants about her.
Yeah.
I know people feel ways about her, like with her social media presence, and people can agree or disagree, but that lady, she gets things done.
Can't take the toy from her ever.
She gets things done. And she is queen of delegating. Okay, maybe I would say one piece of advice from her. She believe in a delegation. She not believe in me not for waste time. Do things when I can pay somebody for do.
I think she did a video about that. And I was like,
yes.
I was just like, yeah, girl, you're right.
Yes. And so I definitely carry that with me, and I definitely keep that at the top of my mind, because I'm like, I see it. I see how not having to do certain things saves her so much time and energy, and she's able to put that into her business and her children and her family. And I mean, it's still a learning curve for me. I haven't mastered the art because when I have Nicole money.
or her life experience.
Or her life experience.
Yeah.
Nicole is older than me.
Yeah.
So obviously
She's been here.
She's been here and she's been hustling.
Yeah.
So I don't expect to be where she is now, but I definitely have learned so much from her, and I still learn from her. We still have a very good relationship. I'm actually working on a project with her next week.
Aww.
So big up to her. She's definitely taught me a lot about how to be just like a boss, how to just get things
boss.
done. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Tiana, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure.
Yes.
Are there any projects or anything you want to big up for the people them? I'm so sorry. That looked like a trigger question.
You know what? I'm going to say it.
Say it, girl.
Y'all need to continue bullying me until Wonga Girl, the podcast, comes back.
I will. I commit.
Because
I commit to being a bully.
You need a podcast.
We'll talk about that after this, once we wrap. But yeah, because that's really what I want. I really want to push it. My favorite thing about Wonga Girl is the conversations. Like, I love talking about things that make people want to DM me, and they're like, oh my God, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I felt the same way, I love that. I love the community. And I know that when I was doing Wonga Pod, that really, really, really encouraged the community. So I really do want to get back into that.
So guys,
very soon.
we need to bully Tiana.
Yeah.
Is what?
People have been bullying me for like 2 years now.
So let's just continue. Bullying works.
It
Bullying
needs to work.
So let's bully her a little more. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of Koined Insights. Ensure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at Koined Digital Studios. Ensure you're following us on Instagram at Koined Digital. Make sure you follow me at Chanel J. Harris. We're gonna put it up there. And Savor the City. And tell them where to follow you.
Yeah, follow me at Wonga Gyal.
Yeah.
WONGAGYAL.
Period.
On Instagram and TikTok. And Twitter if you want to go over there too. Not keep over there, but yeah, I'm over there too. And also follow We Are Wonga, which is Wonga Media's official Instagram account, where we talk a little bit more about digital marketing and social media marketing and those things. But yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, girl. Once again. Thank you guys again for joining us for another episode of Koined Insights. See you next time.